If you're not getting interviews, it's your resume that's stopping you from getting that ideal career. You have the right skills and experiences for the job, but your resume is not passing the eye test from the recruiter. You probably have heard of the 6-second rule, where a recruiter will look at your resume for 6 seconds and decide if they want to move forward or not. But you might not know that there's certain things that they look out for that almost guarantee an interview every single time. If you're new here, my name is Shodowan. I'm a former recruiter turned career coach, and I create content to help you get hired and paid. In this video, I'll teach you the 5 ways to turn your current resume into a winning resume. Let's get started. The first thing that recruiters notice is your format. And they're thinking, does this resume look presentable and professional that I can then pass on to the hiring manager? Your resume needs to have a simple, easy to read, ATS-friendly template, and these options that you're seeing right here, they are not gonna pass. But this one right here, this will. As you can see, you want something that's easy. You want something that's simple, something that's created on Google Docs or Word document. Using this format will easily highlight your experiences, but it will also guarantee that you pass the ATS every single time. And I know that the ATS, this applicant tracking system, this may scare you, but in reality, an ATS is just a tool. It helps the recruiters parse through the information and help them stay organized. If you're a student or a fresh graduate, use a template like this with your education up at the top. And for experienced professionals and everyone else, use a template like this with a summary up at the top and education all the way at the bottom. If you're looking for a template to get started, go to our link in description for our free template or go to workup.com/freebies. Now that you have the format down, next up is having a winning resume that's tailored and relevant for the specific role you're going for. What this does not mean is you having one resume and you spraying and praying it to 100+ different jobs. I want you to customize your resume for one specific role. Because the more tailored you can make it, the more likely you are to get an interview. And I know you probably hear this a lot, tailor your resume for the role, but what does that mean? I'll give you 2 options on how to do it. The first option, go to ChatGPT, copy and paste the job description and enter it into the prompt and ask, what are the 5 keywords they're looking for? The second option, take that job description, go to a word cloud generator, paste it in, and then see what are the keywords that are repeated often. What are the keywords that appear the biggest? Whatever those words are in either of those options, take that and infuse them into your resume. That's what's gonna help you stand out. If you have enough of these words and skills highlighted from top to bottom, that's what's gonna get you an interview. Moving on, we talked about adding in relevant keywords, but a winning resume also eliminates unnecessary things and words from your resume that don't add any value. This list includes full address, objective statement, references upon request, and also don't include soft skills and buzzwords just for the sake of adding them in. This includes hard worker, team player, quick learner. Almost everyone in the entire world can say these things about themselves. I don't want you to be like them. Say words that are only going to add value to your resume. What you do want to include is a header that looks like this with your city, phone number, email address, and your LinkedIn profile URL so that they can easily see all the stuff that you include on your LinkedIn. Instead of an objective statement, I want you to add a summary that talks about all the value and technical skills that you bring to the table. And finally, remove those buzzwords that I talked about, but include real experiences and real skills that showcase why you're a great candidate for this specific role. I'll show you a real winning example of doing just that towards the end of the video. So far, we've talked about format, we've talked about adding in relevant keywords, and we also talked about removing unnecessary things. Now, what's also important is the length of your resume. Going back to the 6-second eye test, your resume might be too long. The best resumes are 1 to 2 pages, and I recommend for most of you to keep it to 1. Because remember, a resume is not your entire life story. It's only meant to highlight the best skills and experiences you have that make you a good candidate for this role. The ones that prove that you can do the job they're recruiting for. The general rule of thumb is this: if you have 5 years or less experience, keep it to 1 page. If you have anywhere from 5 to 15 years of experience, you can keep your resume 1 to 2 pages. And if you are a senior executive with 15 plus, 20 plus years of experience, 3 pages is okay, but for the majority of people, 1 to 2 pages is just plenty. Now moving on to the last part, but probably the most important part, have bullet points that sell your experience for this role. These bullet points are not only going to get you the interview, but if you write them compelling enough, they can actually help you during the interview to secure the job. Because recruiters or hiring managers may ask something like this: I saw on your resume that you increased web traffic by 110% and tracked analytics for 13 million visitors. We're actually looking for someone to help us do the same things for our company. What are some strategies you use there that you think you could bring here? If you want to have that same impact for your bullet points, this is a simple formula that I teach that you can learn right now. It starts with a strong action verb, then talking about the situation, and then finishing off with the impact. The impact is the most important part because it's the so what, it's the value, it's what have you done for the organization that you can also bring to this new organization. Follow that simple formula for all your bullet points and add in numbers and metrics to really seal the deal for you being the right candidate for this role. Now, putting all of those elements together, you now have a winning resume. I want to show you an example of our client who went from working in the restaurant and retail industry to pivoting to a corporate role and tripling her salary. This was the first resume that she sent over, and as you can see, a lot to improve upon. It doesn't really pass the 6-second eye test, and she sells herself so short in her experiences, limiting her bullet points to only 1 per experience. And now this is her new resume following our recommendations that sealed the deal and got her the job. Take a look at the format that she uses for this resume. Take a look at how she sells her relevant skills and experiences, and all the metrics and impact that she highlights. This is what ended up getting her the interview and ultimately the job. For more examples like these, templates, and to work with me to craft your own winning resume, check out our program Blueprint. You can find more details in the link in the description. With that, that's all from me this week. I hope you learned a lot that you can now take on to your own winning resume. I'll see you next week. Good luck.